Just about 2 weeks before we had to hand in our projects, I had a good rough cut of my film, which just needed a great big push to finish it off. But before I did that big push just to round everything off, I just wanted to show a few people the rough cut and just get their overall opinion on it.
If you'd like to introduce yourselves.
Hi, I'm Ethan, I'm a fellow student. I do the same course as Harry, and I've been doing my own final major project, which he's been helping me with. And I'm here to review the first rough cut, isn't it?
I'm James, I'm a learning support assistant. I've just obviously done review for the project and watched your animation. I have a little bit of background experience with autism. I've got somebody in my family who's got autism. I work with various different students who have a diagnosis, so it's interesting for me from that point of view.
Right. So obviously in this video you'll be more the
Autism.
fact side of it, and I'll be more of the media based kind of, that's how I'll see it. The audio is a bit strange. Have you not finished like putting the bits of audio in where it needs to go yet? Because obviously it kind of like fades in and then fades out very obviously.
I'd reply with that, since I didn't have any bare feet, that I couldn't participate. I was very particular on certain tools.
Maybe put some like sound effects, maybe some buzzing noises, stuff like that, which could kind of immerse you more in the experience.
Never knowing which direction to go. Never knowing which direction to go.
In the original version of the story, it originally started off in a very messy room, but then by the end of the video, the room will be nice and tidy. This was supposed to illustrate and represent as to how much more calmer and less messier and chaotic that the main little lad, life, has now become. This opening segment wasn't originally featured in this rough cut.
I would put that book in again. Have you put the book in where you were younger and where you're older? Because that was a nice touch, because it was like how you've changed. It shows like the change in your person, because it's about you, isn't it? It shows the change in your personal like character and personality, how you change from years ago to now, and the book shows that, because it's obviously messy at the start and neat. I can't remember now. Isn't it neat at the start and messy? It's been a while since I've watched the old video, but but I definitely put those books in it because I like the books. That was a good idea. That was a good idea. The first video.
I took Ethan's advice on board and decided to film a beginning and ending in a similar style, but they were extremely last minute added into the film. They were so last minute that for the ending portion, I just filmed it on my desk, where I store a lot of my drawings now, and then for the opening, I didn't have any time to make any new sketches, so I ended up using many of the original sketches that were seen in the original School Reflection film. The actual piece of papers to represent the story. All of that was just filmed over an afternoon.
Autism, how you define it, keeps changing, and the more I find out about it, the more extra factors they add in, extra difficulties. So it's more about looking at the individual than autism in itself. It's a good description of what somebody might have and some of the symptoms they might have, but I guess the main point is it can be different for every person.
So you feel like that main point's not quite clear enough within the video?
It could be made clearer, but it identifies some aspects, but not all.
I hid under a table if things were getting too much.
What was that voice?
I don't know, I just wanted to sound vulnerable.
You sound like an old granny, man.
It was a bit like, oh, I'm hiding under the table.
Yeah, he sounds like really old in it. That sounds weird.
That was definitely one note I remember to tweak up when I was doing my re-edit. I used an alternate take that I did of the same line.
I hid under a table if things were getting too much.
This is what you did.
And this is where I met Mrs. Sugar, who wasn't a patient lady. She would often catch me being lost down the corridors and calling me stupid, saying that big boys like me shouldn't be lost, and if the tears...
Why did you keep that animation in it?
What animation?
The bounce.
For all ladies,
rolling down my eyes.
but...
She told me that if it carried on, we'd have to go down.
As a member of Learning Support, do you find that video appropriate?
It's a cartoon, so you can get away with it. Put it that way. Some people may or may not find it appropriate. If you take it as a joke, it's okay. If you take it seriously, some people may find it offensive. But as a bloke, I'm not sure I'm the expert on whether people find that offensive or not. You have to ask other people's opinions.
Is that you screaming? Yeah. I think you could put more into it. Make it more disturbing. Make it more into your head. Really go deep into it. So put like static noises, really loud heartbeats, loads of echoes. Maybe make like you running down a really long corridor, not stopping. Like things that like really make it feel like it's really uncomfortable for yourself, and like how like you really did not like being there. And like having the pen like maybe red, not blue, which is more of a aggressive colour, and have maybe more aggressive colours in the background, more reds, more darker colours, would make it more colour theory-esque and would make it very different, because obviously in a minute it goes really bright because you're in the garden, which I've seen with the other video.
It has good elements. I think one thing you probably want to highlight is somebody's sensitivity to noises. So in autism it's sort of, some people, if that's a quiet noise, they hear it louder. So that's something you can make more use of the speaking of the table, make it more stand out.
Pretty good so far. What I'd say, before you add any of our points, finish it first.
Okay.
Have the whole thing done, then you can tweak it.
Okay.
Because it just makes life easier for yourself.
At the end of the project, I didn't have time to fully go back and rechange a lot of those sequences, but I was able to add in the tweaks using the sound effects, such as the addition of the heartbeat.
Classroom.
as I found it to be quite noisy.
I think it's a good introduction. It gives people an overview into the basic difficulty of what somebody might experience, and basically it's up to them to decide what bits of it stand out to them, and just remember that everybody's different. So although this is an introduction to autism, not everything in the video means that that's exactly how one person will react. It's just an example.
The final edit was made over that weekend. It had gotten a nice amount of praise from teachers to colleagues, but unfortunately, due to the busy schedule, I was unable to document any of these type of reviews, all except for one. An interesting experiment conducted by my tutor was to show off our videos online by a virtual reality headset, being in a cinema room where various different users online can come and watch our videos, and they can chat to us, giving us a little bit of feedback. The chap I was talking to in particular came from all the way from Canada, but unfortunately, while this experience was videoed, with me having a conversation with the chap, there was no recording device showing on what the chap said back to me, but I'll try to remember along the lines of what he roughly said. He largely enjoyed the video for the most part, but because of the buffering internet, he was struggling to watch the entire video, so he only really saw the last portion of the film. He was somebody who had heard about autism, but wasn't overly aware of it, so he found the video to be very insightful about the autistic spectrum. I asked him of what portions he did saw, mainly being the classroom scene, as to what ratings would he give each aspect in terms of animation and storyline. He gave the animation a 6 out of 10. It was passable for the most part, and that's a rating that I probably would agree with. It's better than what I've done previously, but in terms of what professionals do, it's still a long off from looking anywhere near to the same quality as that. In terms of the storyline, he gave it roughly a 7 or 8 out of 10, with a 7 usually meaning that it's fairly good and at least worth watching. I do apologise if this does seem a bit bare bones, but that was about the extent that our conversation really went to, and that's about as much as I can roughly remember. When I asked other people as to what kind of rating would they give my video, they roughly said along the same lines, either a 7, 8 or maybe a little bit higher if I'm lucky. So I will at least say for the most part that my video typically gets about 7.5 out of 10 or an 8 out of 10.